This is the Realtime Casting Training Channel. Hi, I'm Joan Bogdan for the Realtime Casting Training Channel. In this episode, we'll take a look at the characteristics of the different types of mics commonly used in recording voiceovers.
Professional voices have had the experience of coming into a studio, the microphone being all set up for them, the engineer helps them get their position, everything's ready to go. You just have to perform. But now you're going to have to create that role of an engineer in your home, in your apartment. We know that there are all types of microphones, all different prices. They capture your voice in a different way. And on these videos, we're going to try to help you better understand what's the right mic for your environment, for your budget.
So when you're looking up microphones, you might see a word polar pattern or pickup pattern. A polar pattern basically is the area of sensitivity of a microphone. Think of the polar pattern as a camera lens. You have wide views, you have narrow views. So certain mics will have a very narrow response. Certain mics will be a little bit wider. A couple different polar patterns are omnidirectional, cardioid, bidirectional, hypercardioid. So an omnidirectional mic or a bidirectional mic allows sound to enter from any part of the microphone. A cardioid polar pattern focuses on just the sound coming straight into the microphone. A cardioid polar pattern is the best choice for voiceovers because all you want to record is your voice and nothing else around you.
Today, voiceover recording is digital, so you'll need a way to connect your microphone to your computer.
There are two types of connections for microphones. There's a USB connection and there's an XLR connection. The XLR cable is the most common, and that's the cable with the 3 pins. If you're recording on a microphone with an XLR connection, you'll also need to plug into an audio interface first, which then will plug into the computer via USB. Basically, the audio interface is converting the analog signal, which is you talking, into the digital signal, which is the waveform that appears on your screen. So if you're using a USB microphone, you don't need an XLR cable. The USB plug goes right into the computer. The two types of mics used in voiceovers are generally dynamic and condenser. The majority of talents prefer condenser mics. Condenser mics tend to bring out more of the high end and the brilliance in your voice. Dynamic mics, on the other hand, are a little more rugged and can handle higher sound pressure as like a radio or a promo voice. One big difference between condenser and dynamic microphones is that a condenser mic needs phantom power in order to operate it. So you might be looking at your audio interface and you might see a button that says phantom power or 48 volts. Phantom power basically is what charges a condenser microphone. Dynamic microphones don't need this. A USB microphone doesn't need this. Let's take a look at a few different types of microphones. So these are two examples of dynamic mics made by Rode. This is the Rode Podcaster mic. It's a USB mic, as you can see here on the connection. And one thing unique about USB mics is sometimes there are controls on the mic to set the gain and also a headphone jack to hear yourself with zero latency. This is also a dynamic mic. This is the Rode Procaster, and as you can see, this is an XLR connection, which means you need an audio interface to record. Okay, so here is an example of a condenser microphone. This is the Rode NT2A. One of the things that's nice about the NT2A is that you can adjust the polar pattern. It's not set on just cardioid or omnidirectional. You can actually switch between different patterns. Now some of your higher end mics will most of the time be condenser mics, like this one. This is the Rode NTK, and this is a higher end tube condenser microphone. Now a tube condenser mic means it has an external power supply, which means you do not need phantom power. Now there's no one that's better, regular condenser or tube condenser, but some find that the tube condenser mic really complements the tone of their voice. Now this is a very different looking condenser mic. This is the Rode NTG2. This is a condenser shotgun microphone. And the main characteristic of a shotgun microphone is a narrow polar pattern. As you can see, the microphone is narrower and it's kind of right in your mouth. Shotgun mics are most often used recording TV promos or movie trailers.
Aside from budget, it's important to listen to yourself on the microphones. Many shops where you could purchase microphones have microphone rooms where you can go in and listen to your voice. They'll record you, and you could read copy on 4 or 5 different mics. You can take them home and listen to those files and try to see one that best suits your voice.
We'll be demoing all these mics for you to hear side by side in another episode. But at the end of the day, the mic choice is more of personal preference.
We'll cover where to position the mic in the room and the best way to speak into it, as well as pop filters, stands, and shock mounts in the next episode. So I'll see you then.
From all of us at Realtime Casting, thanks for watching.